Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Amit, and in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about one of the questions I've had on multiple videos of mine. How much did the hair transplant that I went for in Turkey cost? Now, if you're new to the channel, please do consider liking and subscribing. I talk about the hair transplant that I got in Turkey a couple months ago, and I've been documenting everything throughout the whole entire experience. I used to try to show you guys as many tips as possible when it comes to the aftercare of a hair transplant. I've been going through this myself, and I'm trying to document and show everything that I know to hopefully help you guys out as well. So do consider liking and subscribing. Now, I kind of want to go through everything that I spent from the start to the end of this entire journey. I'm going to be as transparent as I can with every little detail that I spent on, and if there was any additional things that I could have avoided, and hopefully that helps you if you guys do go down to the clinic that I went to. So to start off, the clinic that I did go to was Vera Clinic. I'm sure if you guys have been following my videos by now, you already know. So I had been talking to the consultant for quite a while before I had decided to make my decision to go to Turkey, and within our exchanges through email and WhatsApp, he sent me two packages that they had to offer. The first package was called the Diamond Sapphire package, and the second package was called the Fast Recovery package. I was going for an FUE procedure, so these were the two procedures that he had offered me. After looking at both of these packages, I realized that there wasn't that much of a big difference. The only real difference was that one package had an Oxycure session and the other really didn't. So to me, spending that extra few $100s on something that might have been better for me, I decided to take the higher package. So the basis of my hair transplant was already going to be at the cost of 2,800 euros, which is roughly about 2,900 to 3,000 USD. That was significantly less compared to anywhere else that I had taken a look at. I currently live in Canada, so I definitely did my research here first. The difference was that getting the transplant on this side of the world was going to cost me north of $15,000 to $20,000. And doing my research here, I knew that I didn't really want to spend that much of money if I was going to get my hair transplant. To be honest, I had that much confidence of getting the transplant in the first place. I had waited quite a while before I could even do it. But when I was very confident of wanting to do it, I made it a point to save some money to want to take this journey. But of course, spending north of $15,000 was not an ideal situation for me. So I did a bit more research and found out that it's a little more affordable in Turkey, which is generally why I went for that option. Now, within this package that I chose, a lot of things were included. For example, your hotel stay is included throughout the entire time in Turkey. The transport system where they pick you up from the airport all the way until they take you to your hotel, and then followed by they take you to the clinic. Everything is kind of seamless, and they bring you from start to finish the entire way. They never leave you alone. They never make you feel alone. So that's one of the great things that I liked when I went to Turkey for my hair transplant. At the time, obviously it was during the pandemic, I had to take our own PCR test prior to coming into Turkey. So I'm not really going to include that as a cost because I feel like now it's not really a thing, but who knows. When I went there, they did provide an antigen test on the spot to just before the surgery to make sure everything was okay. But yeah, once all that's through, you just go in and make payment, and you proceed with your procedure. Now, there are a couple of ways that you can actually pay for your procedure. First one was cash, where you basically pay everything up front. The second one is credit card, where they charge an 8% commission. And lastly, you can choose to pay installments, but you have to pay the full amount on the day you arrive. So you can basically pay bits and pieces up until that date. Either do a wire transfer, you can do a debit card payment. Either way, no matter what, on the day of the surgery, you have to pay in full with the entire amount. Now, one thing I do want to say is that I personally decided not to do the cash option. The only reason was because I wasn't very comfortable carrying around that much cash in a foreign country that I didn't know much of. So I ended up going with the credit card option, and I paid an extra 8% on my credit card, which meant that was an additional 224 euros on my end. So I added that amount to my base costs for my procedure. Now, once you're done with the procedure on the second day, they bring you up to their little office, and they offer you some of the aftercare products that you will probably need after a hair transplant. Now, I get this, there's this whole gimmick that people think it's not worth it, or it's all just the way the clinic overprices their items to be able to sell to you. But to be honest, I didn't look at it that way. The way I looked at it was, I just had a surgery. I don't want to bother looking for the products that I need to look for right now. I just need to use something that will help me in this present moment of time, especially after a traumatic surgery that we all just went through. So I just went along with it, and I purchased what I thought was necessary to purchase. They did offer a variety of products, but I decided to just stick with a few, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, but I'll mention it again here. Where it is. Found it. So I'm just going to read out most of these items that that was given to me at the moment of time. It's very complicated to memorize this and repeat it. the clinic, they did mention that I should be using a certain serum, certain shampoo, certain vitamins, but again, like most of these items, you can find them online after your surgery, and again, I just didn't want to go through the hassle, so I just stuck to what they recommended. However, do note that it's not necessary to buy everything at one shot. What I mean is that they will tell you maybe you have to use it for about 8 to 12 months, or maybe you have to have a supply worth of 6 months. I didn't do any of that. I decided to just go for maybe a 2-month supply, and after that I'd figure the rest out. Like I currently am on my 2-month right now and I haven't run out of anything. So just a word of advice, if you do purchase anything on from the clinics, just be wary of this. Just make sure you know what you want to get. For the GS serum, I bought 1 kit and that costed me a total of 150 euros. I bought the hair spray and that costed me 40 euros for 1 bottle. Lastly, I bought a 2-month supply of the GF hair shampoo. That costed me 45 euros each. Now, if I'm adding the total of the base pay of my entire procedure and adding the Aftercare products, my current total is 3,024 euros. My current total is 3,304 euros, which is equivalent to 3,464 USD and 4,504 Canadian dollars. I'm just rounding this off. Now, it doesn't end there. The last part of the entire payment, I would say, is the after cost of everything else. If you've been on finasteride, or you've been on minoxidil before this, you know it's already an added expense to your everyday life. I was not on any of those before, so now I'm including those in my hair transplant costs. I ended up getting a 3-month supply of finasteride, which costed me a total of 102 USD dollars, which is about 132 Canadian. Then I also add a 3-month supply of minoxidil Rogaine, which costed me 115 USD, which is also 149 Canadian. So the grand total of the entire procedure, from getting there to the cost of the products to the aftercare, everything, the total was 3,681 USD, which is also 4,785 Canadian dollars. To be honest, a hair transplant under $5,000 is pretty cheap, but I think that again, Turkey is a very unique and special place to get your hair transplant. My experience was, it was kind of good, kind of bad, but I found my own sort of resolution from it, and I've learned a lot more than I did before. And again, I probably will have to go for a second transplant. I've got to factor those costs in as well in the future, but for now I'm working with what I have, and hopefully it will be growing very nicely in the next few months. Again, this is much better for me compared to a $20,000 cost. Probably would have had the same experience, but I'm glad I spent the lesser amounts, and I'm glad I've gotten some sort of result so far already. Alright, I think that's gonna wrap up today's video. Of course, if you have more questions on any of the costs or anything else that happened in Turkey while I was there, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll definitely try to respond as much as I can. Of course, and if you like these videos, please consider liking and subscribing. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.